Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Nezzy's Place podcast. I am your host, Finez Davis, and I am so thrilled that you are joining me this evening. Well, for all my new listeners, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I want to remind you that Nezzy's Place is a place of motivation, encouragement, inspiration, talking to real people about real issues and topics. Oh, did I mention it's a positive place? Well, yes, it is. So please take a moment and share the link. But before we dive into the show this evening, I want to take a minute and thank all my listeners and returning listeners and your emails that I received. I do appreciate your comments and your response to the Bounce Back series was phenomenal. So that keeps me motivated, and I do want to just give you a special shout out. So thank you, and thank you. Well, the show topic for tonight is not a buzzword. Not a buzzword. You're probably asking, what? What is that? Well, there is a word that keeps us from progressing. And I'm going to talk about that word this evening. I really am. Hey, motivation. That's not it, though. But motivation is what we do every single day, right? And whether we motivate others or ourselves to keep going, motivation keeps us stimulated to keep pursuing, to do whatever it is that we're trying to do. But there is one word that's on the flip side that stumps us. It blocks us. It holds us back. All right, what do you think that word is? Excuse me. What do you think that word is? It's 5 syllables, one word. 5 syllables, one word. Okay, I'm going to just go on and tell you because I know you're probably not going to guess. It's procrastination. Oh my God, that word right there. That word is a robber of our time and our projects. And that is definitely not a buzzword. Because I know when procrastination lives in our house, and I know it stops us from achieving our goals, it interferes with our life, and it hangs around to rob us from our true purpose and destiny. How many times, in your life has procrastination visited you? Maybe it stayed a little bit longer. It was an unwelcome guest, right? And then it leaves. But then it's when it takes up permanent residency. That's when we need to say, look, you have got to go. You are evicted, okay, without a 30-day notice. You have got to get out. You have got to go because procrastination is not good. I know for me, I had to decline certain events because, I kept putting things off until tomorrow. But guess what? Tomorrow never came. And I was not prepared to do what I needed to do. So, I really let myself down. I was a little disappointed in myself. Yeah, I'm talking about myself. And I gave myself an F for effort. Yes, I did. So if you saw a little report card and it said Vanessa's accomplishments today, I would get an F for effort. I didn't beat up on myself. I just knew that I had to make some adjustments, in my life. And if you are like me, I know that your day can consist of getting up in the morning, spending time with God, getting dressed, pack your lunch if you don't do it at night, right? And if you have kids, that's a whole nother different, mix to the whole morning routine because it consumes your time getting ready in the morning. Then you have to travel to work, get to work all day, deal with the folk, some that are very taxing, and you're stressed out, Then you get off work, you drive home, you cook dinner, pick up dinner, whatever you decide to do. And that's a long day. After you get everybody else taken care of, all you want to do, if you're like me, all you want to do is plop on the couch, turn on your favorite show, right? And that show turns in another one, click, 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 right? And for me, I know, and my friends can tell you, I will fall asleep on the couch. I don't know if it's, getting older or whatever, but I'll fall asleep on the couch. And next thing I know, it's like 12 o'clock. So I'm like, time to get ready for bed. So, And I'm like, what happened to those 4 hours? Those 4 hours that I was supposed to get some things done. I didn't do it. So that's just my example, but I'm positive that you can identify how you may put things off tomorrow in your own life. You know, a while ago, I read a book called Go for the Magic by Pat Williams. He's the former owner of the Orlando Magic basketball team. And in the book, he shared a nugget that I will never, ever forget. I'll never forget this. He said, we all get 365 days a year, 12 months, 30 days, 4 weeks, 7 days a week, and 24 hours a day to make things happen in our lives. He went on to say that the difference between the successful people and the unsuccessful people is that the successful people will optimize their time and like their life depends on it. And the other percent, well, you know, they waste the time, throw it out the window like, oh, I'll get it back tomorrow, you know, find something else to do. And I'm so guilty. I am so guilty of that. So arrest me right now because I'm guilty. I wasted so much time. Either I was watching TV, doing other things. I mean, even to the fact of, you know, knowing I need to go to the gym, I find something else to do, right? And even though I'm procrastinating going to the gym, you know, that's stealing time away from me where I can be getting healthy, right? So I have to look at it in a different way. Realistically, you know, when you think about it, how productive could you be if you just dedicated 1 or 2 days to focus on your craft, your business, your projects, or whatever you have been aspiring to achieve? I know for me, you would feel so eager to finish because you've started a momentum. And when that momentum gets started, you become so unstoppable and you just keep going and going and going. So that's what I do now. You know, I have turned my Mondays into Motivation Mondays. And it's not just by reading a quote or, you know, being positive that day and everything that I post on Facebook is positive. It's not even about that. Because what I do remember reading by Les Brown or Miles Monroe, I can't remember which one it was, but he said, one of them said, we are all given gifts and talents, and we would be doing them, the gifts and talents, a disservice if we went to our grave and not finish anything. You know, all of our gifts would be looking down at us saying, but we depended on you. You let us down. You know, we really depended on you to bring those things into fruition, and you let us down. Wow. That's deep. And when you think about it that way, I know for me, I will never want to procrastinate again on anything. I remember I wrote this post on Facebook saying, this life right here is urgent. And I'm not going to quote the whole thing, but you know, you can visit, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you can go to Vanez Cassandra and type in, you know, urgent under my name. And I'm sure the post will populate and you can read what I wrote. But I think, you know, when we put things off until tomorrow, we just can't get things done. You know, Charles Dickinson says it best. He said, my advice is to never do anything tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is the thief of time. And we know what a thief is. It comes to rob us, steal from us, take away, right? And that's what procrastination exactly is. So I realized that I needed to take action. Okay, I needed to do some things differently to have a better outcome. I gave myself a deadline for projects. So every Monday when I get home now, I don't turn on the TV as I would normally do. I flip on my favorite praise music and I change my clothes, get something to eat, and I go hard at what I need to do. I mean, I go hard. I work. I make a list. I do everything I need to do. So instead of falling into that routine that I mentioned earlier, I now focus on what I have to do. You know, I talked about the list that I make. I stick to it. I check things off as I accomplish them. And sometimes if I don't get to everything on Monday, then it goes right into Tuesday so that I can feel accomplished. Talk about rewarding. That is such a rewarding feeling of accomplishment when you know that you have set aside time, that procrastination did not steal it away from you, but you took control of that. So we really have to use our time wisely, even if it's increments of time. Use it wisely, because I know you'll feel so enthusiastic when you start doing, setting some time aside for yourself to accomplish your goals. So as far as TV watching, I don't even miss it too much. I do love my Chicago Fire, my Chicago Med, This Is Us, and all that. But thank God to Hulu, Fire Stick, Roku, Netflix. I tell you, if you don't have those platforms, you need to get them, because that's a whole nother episode, a whole nother show about how I told my cable company, you're fired. I went from $100 bill to a $40 bill, but I will share that in another show. Okay. But I want to stay on track. So let me get back on point so I can tell you what I want to say. So like I said, I had to take a look at my time and how I was letting things slip through the cracks. And I had to make some adjustments in how I was spending my time. And because I felt myself not being creative, and mediocrity felt too normal, which I didn't like. And that was one of the reasons why I knew I had to make a change. So if you feel that in your life, that things are just too mediocre, you want to change that. So I say to you, whatever gift God gave you, you have to work on it and ask God for wisdom and move towards your purpose. Sometimes we put things off because we are fearful. What if it fails? You have to ask yourself, so what if it does? There are many people who tried things and it failed, but they got up and they kept going. Trying is better than not trying. And for some people, procrastination is a safe place. It makes them feel comfortable, because being comfortable and complacent, they don't have to push themselves to do anything more. That's how it is when you're comfortable. You don't push to do more. You don't persevere to do the next thing, to get to the next stage. And we don't want to be too comfortable. We want to push ourselves. And we have to know that faith, it's our faith that moves us past our fears. And once we get past all that, can't stop us. So I want to tell you, if you find yourself in a place of procrastination, if anything that I said resonates with you, I want to encourage you to put these 7 steps that I'm going to give you into action. So go ahead and get your pen if you're able to. If you're not, if you're driving and you're listening, I am going to put these in the podcast notes, so don't worry about it. So you ready? Here we go. These are 7 steps that you need to put into action to beat that procrastination evil. Procrastination is so evil. It is. It's evil. So here we go. Number 1, put a sign on your mirror, whether it be in the bathroom or in your bedroom, so that you can see it every day, that says, I will optimize every minute of the day. The word will, I want you to make it real big so that it stands out. Number 2, I will not procrastinate today. I'll take one day at a time, but I will not procrastinate today. The big bold word is not. Number 3, my gifts and talents must be materialized. I have to do it. The big word right there is must, so make it large. Number 4, it's okay if I had a bad day. I'm normal. You have to give yourself a pass, because there are so many things that could happen, between the time you wake up. You could have a plan and something could go wrong. Anything, the kids could get sick, something, anything could happen. But you want to make sure that it's okay. Just get back on track. So number 4 was, it's okay if I had a bad day. I'm normal. Number 5, what day am I going to put aside or dedicate to work? You have to decide on a day, whether it's 1 or 2, it's your choice, and you go hard. You go. Decide on a day and stick to it. Don't let anyone distract you or disrupt your schedule. Learn to say no. Because remember, no is a sentence. And it's okay to say, sorry, I can't do it. I have to be committed to myself. And that is, be committed to yourself. You'll thank yourself for it. And people will begin to respect your time too. I want to tell you that when you tell them that I can't do a certain thing because I'm focused on my days that I work, these are the days that I work at home on my craft, my business or whatever, they'll start to respect that before they, and they'll think about it before they ask you to either go out to dinner, go to an event or things like that. Number 6, celebrate your small successes. That is so important. We have to pat ourselves on the back when we have done well so that you can, it just makes you want to take that next step further. Okay. Number 7, enjoy the process because time will go by and you will look back and you will be so proud of all the things that you accomplished. So enjoy the process. And number 8 is a bonus step. Okay. This is really important. Don't answer the phone until you are done. Okay? Because you can get distracted. You will have a thought process. And if you get disturbed, you may forget the flow. Even if you're writing a book, you have to just keep focused. And you can always text later, call later, put your phone on mute, put your house phone on silent. And you can call people back when you're done. So bonus step 8, do not answer the phone until you are done that day. So those are the steps. Please make sure you jot those down. And I want to make sure that you're putting them on your mirror, wherever you need to do. However you do this, however it works for you, that's your choice. But just make sure you follow those steps. So I want to leave you with this quote, which I feel encompasses everything that I discussed this evening. You may delay, but time will not. And lost time is never found again. And that was a quote by Benjamin Franklin. So in wrapping up, use your time wisely. Don't let procrastination live in your house. Remember, if you find it there, kick it out for good. Remember, you can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. That is so important. That's Philippians 4:13. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I do appreciate you taking the time to listen to my episode today. But I want to leave you, if you have a motivational story, inspirational story that you want to share, please connect with me on Nezzy's Place website and send me a message. I promise I will get in touch with you. And also visit my website to join the Nezzy's Place Facebook page and to check out the book Girlfriend, Your House is a Mess. And you can catch all the old episodes, all the podcast episodes on the website as well. So please make sure you leave me a message. Let me know you stopped by. That is so important. As I always say, everyone, it's your house, your life, and your rules. Stay positive. Until next week, remember, don't procrastinate. I'm out.